Good early afternoon, everyone. I'm back for another reading. This is going to be a big one. There's some major shifts occurring this morning, and because of really big clearings, we're able to enter into a new part of our timeline. We're going to be anchoring new codes and bringing in new light, so that's new understanding. The vibrations are going to rise, which is wonderful, and it helps us. It's going to help us reach our destiny with truth, divine authority. I'm hearing nobody's going to be able to stand in the way of this. If this is what you seek, have faith and know that when you step into that energy, you're well protected and guarded. Okay. So we have the King of Pentacles that appeared twice. That's very, very powerful, and it's important. And he wants you to know that he's been working really hard to better understand himself. He's been concerned about his finances and the future and his future, and how could he offer a future to somebody else, especially you, Divine Feminine, if you have children, if he's not confident, if he's not sure if he's doing the right thing, if he can safeguard his money and make good choices and keep his personal life and personal affairs in order to not bring in complications and problems. So all of these things I'm saying, I think were a part of the problem in the past. The divine has been safeguarding this brand new beginning for you. And he knows now that in order to receive that, he needs to be in check. He needs to have his life in check. One of the biggest things is to be able to stand up for himself, stand up for you, Divine Feminine, and know that by doing that, even if it's difficult and it brings challenges, that it's the right thing. He needs to believe in that. It's not up to anyone else to tell him. He needs to come to that understanding on his own. So I feel like that's the work that he's been doing. Know that you've been providing strength, the way that you're caring and loving, it helps him. And I know it's discouraging, when we feel like we're doing all of this and we're not seeing the changes that we'd like to see. Just know that there's always change happening. It's just sometimes we don't see it right away, and it's coming. It's coming. So this is interesting because this is what I was just channeling. So about the ability to move forward and move past this. The cards that are lower, I think, are older energy. Okay, so I think he's gone back and forth on communication, and he wasn't always successful. He was holding back. He was holding himself back. Even though he put you in this very prominent position here in his life, he didn't talk about it. He didn't say anything to anybody. The reasons for that are going to be different for everybody. But just know that this is how he holds you very close to his heart. He wanted you to be kind of out of the way here so he could deal with this. He's mastered this. So this is a message to let us know that they've mastered this. They're at the center here of their life. They're in charge. They're channeling properly. They're connected and grounded to Source and to Mother Gaia properly. And I think he's realizing where he didn't protect you before. People wanted you to be this dark feminine template, even though you weren't. The ones that were projecting that out to the world were the ones that were in their shadow aspect of this archetype here. You weren't. You've overcome a lot of these shadowy aspects in this life. And that's something we're still going to have to work on in terms of how we interact with other feminines. The jealousy piece is usually pretty challenging. It's just important to be aware and do your work. Okay? No one's perfect. This isn't stuff that comes easily. So don't be hard on yourself if these are areas you struggle with. But he knows that people look up to you and that you were always acting in good faith and you've used and wielded your energy and powers properly for the most part. It's not that we're perfect, but certainly we're not doing what a lot of these darker feminines, I call it, are doing right now. If they're stuck in that part of their shadowy energies that would otherwise render them incapable of embodying and bringing in true divine light, to channel from sources that will help them find the answers and face their karma and apologize, make mistakes to move on and clear the air. So a lot of them have turned their backs on this. That's why they're facing this way. Okay, we haven't. We're ready to move forward. We trust in the divine, and our lives are spinning in the right direction now. So I'm going to put the karma, the Wheel of Fortune, the karmic wheel here, because I feel for a lot of us, we're embodying this energy beautifully. And the divine masculine is withholding communication, but it's a thing of the past. I feel like this is the communication. He was stubborn and he was hanging on to it like tight, but he knows he has to release it because it's put him in this Four of Swords energy. Even though you were coming and giving him, showing him love in the ways that you were, he was stubborn. And you had to almost just leave it there at the bedside and step away and let him figure out what he needed to figure out on his own. But when he was ready, he would have noticed what you left and would have been reminded, oh yeah, So I know that's difficult, and I know, it's not for me to tell people how to feel. I mean, you're entitled to respond and deal with your situations however and wherever you're at in your life. It's just that, in my opinion, it's just really important to always show love when you can. And if you can't, that's okay. If you don't have enough to give, step back. But when you do, and when you feel that you can, it's okay. Send that message, say hi, or share it however you're capable of sharing, because it's important for them to know that we haven't completely disconnected. And we can do that by letting go still of hanging on to what it is that we want them to be like. It's trusting that they'll get there. But that beautiful cord that connects us, that's how you share that energy, is through that cord. Okay? Because no matter what is happening in the physical, that cord's always there. So just know that you're always connected on some level, okay? However you choose to be connected. So I'm channeling for higher divine counterparts that are, or resonate with the twin flame, the true twin flame template, okay? So you'll kind of have a good sense of what that is based on how the divine and your guides have helped you sort that out, because there's so many different journeys out there and different information out there. It can be very confusing. And I don't think one's right or wrong for anyone. I think that you need to figure out what's right for you. Okay, and what's right for one person may not be right for somebody else, but that doesn't mean that what's right for that other person isn't true for them. So we never disempower anything for anyone, and just really stay in our own lanes and do our very best, support each other as we all move and strive for a higher vibrational way of being. The planet's ascending. If you want to ascend with the planet, you need to hold a high enough vibration to be able to continue to evolve and ascend. It's consciousness, okay? It's not actual physical way of being, but that consciousness, if you are incarnated in a physical being, works through all of those aspects, okay? And it helps to bring light where you are. If you're a carrier of that light, twin flames are very prescribed templates, and they hold very prescribed codes, and they emanate all of that and how they are, how they speak, how they move, how they flow through life. It's really important for you to understand that and to share your gifts with the world. It's so important. And if you're willing to do that, the divine will give you access, okay? And they'll protect you, okay? Your guides will be there to help you, so not to worry, okay? So for many of us, we've done that. Maybe not always in the best of ways, but meaning for me, like I started, and then during COVID, I had to kind of refocus everything. And then I just really struggled because there were so many challenges with me using, for example, my light language, and people didn't understand and were very threatened and confused. And I'm not in a part of the world that there's not others that are really like me that I know of anyway. So I really had to kind of go within, do my own work, and really connect with other people throughout the world that are similar to help me better understand who I was, so I could build my confidence. And then I slowly but surely went back out into my community, into the world here, we'll call it, and just started to share it. But I just had to better understand the audience and the people that I would share it with. That's all. Okay, it's not for everybody. And I had to come to understand and figure out the best way to do it without myself feeling hurt at any time. So I hope me sharing part of my journey helps others understand, better understand their own journeys. And if you don't resonate, that's okay. Just I appreciate you taking the time to listen, nevertheless. So I have my crystal tuner here, and it's very specific, and it was tuned in a part of the world by another twin flame. It's pure quartz, and I don't use it very often. It's the first time that I've brought it into a reading here. So I feel like a lot of the twins that are doing really, really well are going to come through and help push us into the right direction here, because we need help and we always support each other. So just know that the light continues to heal you in all these areas, and it'll help you find your way. As I'm touching this hangman position, I feel some of these other twins or our spirit guides are really wanting to share with us. So be open, because you'll receive new information in the days, weeks to come, months to come. Okay. It's a really important time right now with the planetary. I'm not up on all that stuff with the like zodiac signs and the solar energies that work with us. It doesn't matter if you believe in it or not. It's there, and it's all a part of this universe, and it all operates together like one big oiled machine. So for me, I was always told that I did need to understand it from an intellectual point of view, because I already studied that in a past life. My goal and my mission is to trust the intuition, because that's what's going to guide me, and I do. And so it's just difficult in this role here where I'm trying to explain something in my sentience or my claircognizance gift. It's just kind of a download, and it's a knowing already, and I have a hard time sometimes explaining it. So I apologize if it's not something that you can follow necessarily. If I'm trying to explain something, I'm doing my best here. So just know that, as I was saying, it is a powerful time to manifest right now. Everything's aligned. And so that's why that timeline I just gave, after, it's not going to be, this energy isn't going to be available to us longer than the timeline that I shared, because those alignments are not going to be in place in the same way after that. So they're just showing me like the solar system moving, and all the planets moving and things like that. So it's a very important time. So I think many of us, though, are on the right track and doing a great job. And so it's going to be a time to benefit that will show great benefit. And you're going to be honored, and your abundance is protected. Just know that nothing behind your destiny now can tamper with it. Okay, those days are long gone. You're not embodying this archetype in a shadowy aspect anymore. You've overcome that. And she is going to have to go back to the drawing board, the ones that aren't doing so well here, because they can ascend like with this type of energy. It's very low vibrational. It's dense. It pulls you down. And that's where they need to go back and figure it out. I was channeling earlier that if there's somebody like this in your life that you tried to help at one time, she's thinking back to that, and she wishes that you were there to help her, because she knows that it would help her, because she's heard it helped other people. And she's too proud to come back and fix things. Well, she can sit in that, and the divine will continue to help her, and hopefully she finds her way. But we're going to move on here, because this is where we are. So we're going to clear. Okay. We're going to send her some light. Okay. We want her to get a really nice cleanse here, and we're going to send her light. And share beautiful crystals, and give her some extra energy and codes to be able to give her a little break here so she can hopefully channel properly and make some better and more informed decisions that will help her move on properly, okay? So here, the masculine has messages for us. Let's see here. So he wants you to know, Divine Feminine, that he's grateful for the messages that you've shared with him, the way that you tried to help enlighten him in the past, that he knows that if he would have listened to you sooner, that Ace of Pentacles would have come in before now. There's a brand new beginning that was being held here until the divine could see that he was going to be able to be entrusted with that and do good with it. That's linked to you. That's tied to you. He doesn't get this without fixing things with you and in some aspect. So I feel like you need to be involved in his life in some aspect. It could be friend, it could be romantic partner, whatever. But he doesn't get this without you because you manifested this together. It was a part of your destiny that was meant to come in with you being together side by side because you're both going to benefit from it. All right. So I feel like the divine has awarded this and is entrusting the masculine here to do the right thing, knowing now that he fully understands what destiny is all about, and that this opening was created at a time where he was connecting with you in a really healthy way. All right. And then I feel like they faltered again and kind of dropped, and then they tackled some of the same challenges that they did before that they would have perhaps been able to overcome, but it was short-lived. This is how and why the divine tests us all the time, because you need to be able to continuously face that in the right way so it doesn't mess this up. Okay? And because you're tied to a divine feminine, this is why the divine doesn't mess around. This isn't going to come in unless everything is aligned properly. It's like, again, all wrapped up in codes. It's a part of your destiny and contract. When you agree to come here together, to do this together, you know, he doesn't get to go off and do this with somebody else. He can go off and be with somebody else, but he's not going to be able to bring this with him. Absolutely not. And so I would imagine for the ones that do choose to do that, that's fair enough. You know, let them go. I believe that you'll be sent another counterpart, another person that will help you achieve something that's close to this. But nobody can replace a twin flame counterpart. Okay, somebody else can play the role, or step into that, not play the role, but step into that role as another soul partner, soul mate, and you might manifest abundances, but it's not this specific one that was a part of this contract. Okay, but the reason I'm saying that is I don't want you to worry, Divine Feminine, if your partner chooses to go another way, because you know somebody else will be able to come. Now in this case, I'm not getting that the twin flame counterpart is doing that, because he's here twice. He's fighting for this because this is what he wants. This is what he wants. And there are some masculines that have held off getting married because they were waiting for their perfect partner. And I feel like for the Empress here, he knew it was you, but then when the separation energy came in, he became confused and was very upset and mad at the universe, mad with God, and mad with everybody, because he thought he finally found his person. He did. You just needed to, you weren't ready to step into that marriage, you know, and it's not that you can't get there or weren't going to be able to get there, but this masculine was very confused about that. And so, you know, he went off trying to find that, still all with the wrong people. Okay, he would have manifested other people like this. And so, in an attempt to hopefully clear karma and learn the lesson. And if he did, the divine would, and his higher self, that because you're in line with the divine when you're connected with your higher self, and wanting to go back to your original blueprint, that's what all this is, okay? You'll guide yourself back. It'll be okay. So let's see here. This is just so much strength and power. This reading is very powerful. So this is being safeguarded because it's here twice as well. We've got the King of Pentacles here twice. So he's putting this behind him. And the strength. Look, you've succeeded. So when he woke up this morning, he knew that he was venturing away again from you, and it was not the right choice. Okay? And he quickly shook his head and said, okay, I need to get back over here. All right, so meaning back over to where he should have been. Okay, so there was some reflection work, or will be some reflection work today to better understand that the divine is safeguarding this communication, so when he's ready to come, it'll be protected. Okay, so it's coming, Divine Feminine. Don't worry. Don't worry. So he's ready to step into new energy. He's going to pull in more power, more strength as he gets closer to this. You know, if he really wants that, then he will allow this, whatever healing that's still needed, to come in. And part of the healing is having that conversation. Okay? There's no worry. So Divine Feminine, don't worry, okay? Don't worry. He's received, he knows where you stand. He knows that all this is available to him. When he's ready, he'll come. So, you know, he doesn't want to be in this hermit energy anymore. He doesn't want to be alone. He wants to be able to talk about this with you and not just with himself, okay? Yeah, see? There she is again. So, you know, he's had to let her go. This represents multiple karmics, okay? And because he was really confused by listening to them, and he's realizing he should have, you know, spent time alone instead of getting together with these people, because it's triangulated usually, these karmics, because there's usually if there's a weak link somewhere, there'll be a link through an outside person that will bring in the masculine again back in contact with these people. But it's all plays part for good, if you want it to be for good, because it's another opportunity to learn this time. All right, so I really sense that he let go, and it'll give him a chance to free himself and create a life that he felt like he couldn't manifest anymore because it was too hard, or it hurt too much to even think about going back there again. Look, that's what he was after, that 10 of Pentacles. The wrong person, the wrong people. That's why it's back here. Okay, and look. Well, you know, that's not him. That's this one over here. And now, this is you. You've come in, so there's something that you've done. He's going to realize, he's going to have a huge awakening here, that this is you, and you're going to come in and you're going to shed light on something in a way that will blast all this out. Okay, this has no power anymore. No more power. So we're going to do a cleanse here. Yeah, he's going to come into better understanding that you're true divine counterparts. Okay? That this isn't just made up stuff, like it's real. Okay? And it's important for him to have faith, and he will. Okay, and that the gifts that you recently gave him, if you've already given him this gift, he missed the opportunity for enlightenment. But because there were multiple things in that gift that you provided, it wouldn't have been one item necessarily. There's something that is very, very specific that had multiple, like it was encoded with so many different things to counter all this. It was fully aligned. You channeled energy into it because you're high priestess. That's very powerful, and you knew that you needed to do this, even though intellectually it didn't feel right, because in the physical things weren't. It just, you felt so far apart, and regardless of that, the guidance and the intuition was to bring this to him, and however and whatever that was, it could have been a song, a letter, a gift, the words, the sound, the item itself is holding its key. It's holding something it's this right here. I don't know, I'm trying to explain it. It's very powerful, and because of that, he's going to be able to bring you that love, that loving message. And those karmics are being tempered here. The angels have landed. They've come in to deal with them, because, and if that's happening, it's because they're asking for, say, mercy or forgiveness. And they know they've done wrong here. And the only way angels can help is if you call upon. So they've prayed somehow. And that's good. We want them to pray because they need help. And so we're going to be able to move now into this 10 of Cups. And that's your destiny. That's a part of this destiny here. And look, there's no more deception now behind this masculine. He's cleared this up. So there's also more messages coming through of a clearing. So he would have, whatever he found himself kind of wrapped up in again, it was an opportunity for him to clear what he hadn't cleared before when he walked away from this. And that's why this wasn't ready to come in. So he's done that. And if he hasn't, he will. He will. He'll achieve this. Full union, full destiny here. There's so much strength and power. Okay. Just know that you speak the truth, Divine Feminine, when you do speak. The Divine wants you to share more if you're capable, if you're willing, if you're ready. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. You need to embody this Emperor energy. This is you, okay? Especially when the masculine comes forward, because he might be shy. He might not know exactly the right words. It's okay to help. It's okay to help. Okay. He's ready to stand up for both now, for both of you, I'm hearing. So I feel like you and your children, you know, where he wasn't doing that before. Okay. He loves how you share. He loves the gift that you shared with him. Or if there's something you do a lot that you've tried different ways to share with him, he likes that you do that.